Hello. We will wait for a few more minutes.
I have very bad signal today, so I just wanted to check if you can hear me okay.
Yes, I do hear you. Perfectly fine. Okay. Um, should we start? Okay, then we will start the suit interim 2026 February 26. No, 24 here, and some country is 25 already. And I hope the file, the chair slide is showing correctly. So I will go note. This is the note wheel as usual. Just a minute. The screen is so small on my display today. So just a minute. Is there any way to see it larger? Yes. So
So if you hover over the actual slide, there's a place you can make it full screen or make it bigger.
okay.
Up in the upper left-hand corner for me.
Left corner. Oh, there it is. Yes. Yes. So this is in IETF meeting. So by participating, you are agreed to IETF process and policies, and there are about 2 or 3 pages, which were updated on IETF 124, and this page is about yes meeting tips. So this is a remote part online meeting. So already Brendan just checked with his mic quality. So yes, please check your audio and video quality and make sure disable the video and audio quality to make the Meet Echo quality improvement. And these are the link for the agenda and the sessions, today's interim sessions page. And if you have any issue for the, especially on the Meet Echo, reporting to the team, development team will significantly help the improvement of the Meet Echo itself, but at the same time encourage the who is developing the Meet Echo. So please file some feedback. And this is the link. If you are successfully watching this video or on the share screen, then yeah, you are able to join in the Meet Echo, and the link to the notes for the note taker, and link to the chat. Yes. So I need a notes taker. I will be also helping, but Brendan and Jackie and whoever joining today, please help. And agenda bashing. So the agenda in this page, I included firmware encryption, but that will be skipping today. So today we'll be focusing on about the suit report, especially on update after IETF 124. Mostly it's from T protocol implementation feedback. I think so. That's what I'm expecting from today's discussion. And we have AD evaluation for the suit update management and updated to draft 10. And RFC editor queue, suit MTI is 23, trust domain is 12, firmware encryption is 26. This one was updated after 124, and suit manifest 34 and suit mat 10. And yes, that's about it for the chair slide. Okay, then let's go with the with the suit report. Brendan, would you like to talk the yes updates?
Hi. Yeah.
Yes.
So there haven't been a lot of updates. There have predominantly been updates that were requested by review. A couple of different reviews that happened. One was, of course, through the IESG standard reviews, and there were also some reviews that were done via IANA. Everything that's been done, or most of the things that have been done in there, were relevant to that specific side of things. But as you'll have seen on the list, there was also a minor terminology note that was added. What that was about was terminology is the wrong way of putting it. There was a bit of a semantic problem with the report, and that is that one of the commands that we execute never returns, and that command is invoke. So when an invoke happens, we didn't previously have any detail on what an implementer should do. So it's an interesting question. How do you report something that hasn't actually completed? So what the new terminology there was about, the new text was essentially saying that we're going to add a new result code where that result code is essentially saying that the manifest processor is handing over to a process that never completes. And so that means that it can be reported up even though it's hit a command that never finishes. So that's the one change, and that because this draft has already gone through IETF last call, that I think it has. That meant that we actually had to come back to the working group and do another last call before we could forward it on. So I think that made a lot of sense, but it did require a little bit of extra process, and that will have been the other change that you saw. Now, the other thing is I do have feedback from Ken, which I am going through. Unfortunately, a lot of it doesn't seem actionable at the moment, and that's broadly because I think perhaps somehow the suit report hasn't been made clear enough that it is intended to be consumed with a suit manifest, and that on its own it doesn't have a lot of meaning. So I am drafting some replies on that, and maybe we can talk about how that can be brought out further. But at the same time, I think we're already past the point where we can make substantial changes to this draft.
Which draft are we talking about? Is this report?
Yes, this is report.
So report is sitting in editor's queue in misref.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can, because it's still sitting in the editor's queue in misref, you can actually still make changes to it. I didn't follow the changes you thought were. Iana had some questions, but I don't.
Yeah, those were straightforward.
Is that the changes you were talking about?
So there were a couple of IANA changes, but there was also that one that we brought back to the list, as you may recall.
How long ago was that?
Like a month ago, or maybe two. Here,
so we brought it back to the list, and it was fine. Or that wasn't the firmware, because the firmware update we definitely did that too, because we added a paragraph to security.
Yeah, so this was specifically on reporting. Here, I'll just bring up the item from the list, and then we can all be on the same page here. This will just be a moment.
If you paste the link in the chat.
Yeah, for sure.
It's the easiest.
Okay. Oh, no, you're right. The one that I'm seeing is about update management, not suit report. Okay, so that will have been already handled then. I'm not sure how I got those two mixed up, but okay.
About update management. So we'll talk about those when we talk about update management.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, suit report should be good, other than Ken's comments, right?
Yeah.
Happily sitting in misref, waiting for update to finish, right?
Yeah, and if there's something that is actionable from that, and I can track that down, I will of course propose an update to the list. But so far, I haven't found anything actionable
from Ken's comments. And Ken also has comments on manifest. Am I remembering that wrong? He had a comment on the manifest draft that he made in December 17th.
Okay, let me have a look at that.
Too bad he's not on the call.
Yeah, I wish he was here. December 17th, you said? Huh. How strange. Okay.
Yeah, sorry. Hold on.
Yeah, I just posted on the chat about his comment on the suit manifest and the suit report.
Was it the 17th or did I remember it wrong?
It is on the 17th.
It's so weird. I don't see it in the archive. I see it in my files, but I don't see it in the archive. It's weird. Oh, I wonder. At any rate, you can look that up and see. Manifest is in the same situation. It's all sitting in Misref. Like you can make changes to these things up until the point where they actually hit auth 48, but that won't happen until the update draft is all the way through.
It does look like we've lost Brendan as well. Oh no, he's just come back.
Brendan, are you back?
Sorry, I dropped there. I'm back.
Yeah. Yes, so I wrote Ken's comments in the chat. So it's more related to description in the suit manifest and suit report confirmation. I mean, make it similar so the implementing will be easier with the matching the behavior on the both understand from the both draft. So one is the suit manifest reference URI is optional in the manifest draft. However, at the moment, suit report manifest URI is not optional. Does it have to update the draft? I don't know that, but yes, that's one of the simple one was easy to understand for me, and another one was he preferred to reorder suit reference to be same procedure of the processing in the suit manifest processor. But yes. and many other is mostly from T protocol implementation feedback.
Yes, I saw his comments on that, and I do
Mhm.
understand his reasoning. However, I think there is a flaw here, which is that the suit manifest reference URI is there for all, it's optional because not all suit manifests will be used with suit reports. The suit manifest reference URI is supposed to be the permanent URI where you can fetch a manifest from. This is supposed to be something that's available for forever. The reason that that is needed in a suit record is because of what happens if you don't have the manifest when you get a suit report. If you have a suit report and you don't have the manifest, then it's very difficult to, no, it's just straight impossible to make sense of what's happening in the suit records. You can still process suit system property claims, but you can't make any sense of suit records. And so that's the fundamental problem. And that's why the URI is there. It's intended to solve this problem. When it comes to the ordering, I definitely take his point. That makes perfect sense. It would be helpful to have things in that order. The reason that they were in the order they were in is because the reference was originally intended as fetch and then digest. So we have two opposing uses for this field. One where you digest and then fetch, or sorry, one where you record the digest and then record the URI, and one where you consume the URI and then consume the digest. So we have two opposing use cases, and I don't see a straightforward way to resolve which one to use.
I'm fine with your comment, explanation. So I hope Ken will be listening this video and or minutes and then come back.
Yep, and on top of that, I will, of course, be posting these comments to the list very shortly.
And there are others, mostly from suit, not suit, but T protocol implementation related. What was it? Oh, there it is. Yeah. So yeah. This is something need to be um, uh, slightly revised in the T protocol draft. Is the suit report type and the suit T protocol right now is B string, CBOR suit report. However, suit report is a map, so he proposing to be have a protection from the causes to able to work properly to suit report protected and suit report unprotected to use them in the T protocol. But yeah, definitely it's should be discussed in T protocol side.
Who's he?
Um,
Is this Hannes?
yeah, so Hannes, and honestly, I was also doing the implementation. So yes, Hannes, and he might be already changed it. I saw his changes in the GitHub going through on the email updates today,
So,
but I was
so,
too busy with preparing this interim. So yes.
so TEEP is, Paul is finishing as an AD in the middle at IETF 125. And our plan is to close TEEP
Yes.
before he finishes, right? So the last specification in there is the protocol draft. It went through the ISG last week. And there is a discuss, and so Hannes needs to make some changes. And we do want those to align, right? I mean, that's the whole point. So again, report is sitting in misref, so it can be changed. We just need to change things in sensible ways in sensible places. But that there's a deadline for that of the middle of March, right? So we need that in the editor's queue before the middle of March so we can close the working group. TEEP, that is, not suit.
And more comment on the suit, but it's related to with the T protocol, but more really related to the rats is yeah, there's many other comments, but yeah, I think that should be discussed in T session or rats session. So yeah. He was mentioning about raw report data type. And what else? Yes. Yeah, I think he seems to be using RAT's implementation to on top of the T protocol. So yes, report data yes might exceed 64 byte and etc. Was the comment I saw, and I was yes, I had to focus on the suit, so I not fully following it, but yeah. Okay. If no other comments on the suit report, do we have any other topic on the draft? Go once, twice. What's the last one?
So the update draft.
Oh,
So the update draft has been through IETF last call. There are 4 reviews sitting waiting for action. I think I had a comment or 2 left over from AD evaluation that hopefully you have already sort of ready to go.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. I missed those comments somehow. I'll get those sorted out this week.
There's 4 sets of reviews.
Yeah.
They're all basically they're all pretty close together in time.
Okay.
And they're not, I don't think they're terrible. I mean, one set's from Russ, for heaven's sakes. So
yeah, I'll get those sorted out as soon as I can here.
So as soon as you do that, there was an IANA. What did IANA have to say? I think you need to check and make sure that the IANA plan is what you expect. I'm looking to see whether he actually has. It's from David Dong, and it's right in the middle of all of the reviews.
Okay, I'll go through the data tracker and grab all the reviews from there, and we'll see how we go.
Yeah, so David's IANA's comments should be on the history tab if you're looking at the data tracker for this draft. Obviously the reviews are right there, but usually IANA puts stuff in the history tab.
Okay, yeah, I'll definitely check those out.
Yeah, he does. From 12/22, he has a message under the history tab of that draft. But again, I'm not sure he's expecting a response to that. I think it's just, here's what we think we need to do. So you might just confirm that that's true.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that sounds like it shouldn't take too terribly long. So I'll get
So,
on that.
right,
I
so then
think I think the
is
problem is I looked at it and everything was green.
that, yeah, that's fun. And they are all green. I mean, Almost Ready is indeed green, and so is Ready with Knits is green. So Ready, I mean, those probably don't have much there.
Yep.
But the two that are little longer green ones maybe have a
Yeah.
little more to them.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, I'll take another look at those.
So when you reply to, if they actually had comments, reply to them, figure out what you want to do with their comments. You should have one or maybe two left from when I did AD evaluation. I said, just go ahead and keep these in your pocket. But I'll put it in IETF last call even without you addressing them because they were probably editorial.
If I remember right, I actually did address those when we talked about them previously and left them floating around in GitHub. So odds are it's already actually been addressed. It just hasn't been published.
Yeah, that's fine. And then once you answer the comments, publish a new draft. I'll put it in IESG evaluation. With the meeting coming up, it won't happen until April.
Okay. All right, that sounds like it shouldn't take too long for us to move that one forward, which means we're looking at being free and clear.
Then you're done, right?
No,
So,
I'm not done. I'm not done.
No,
See, that's the problem.
done. You're not done, but you're getting to the point where I'm willing to let you work on the other thing.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's sitting here in my pocket, and in fact, I've been working on the benchmarks to demonstrate the viability. So that's going to be fun.
So my goal would be to have you do that work while the rest of this is sitting still in the editor's queue, waiting.
Yeah, for sure.
Doing its time in purgatory or whatever you want to call that, so that you have this thing ready to roll before those things actually get published for realsies.
Yep.
Right.
That sounds
And then
good
at that point, I do think we close down suit, once you get that last draft published, or at least into the editor's queue, we'll close her down.
That makes sense to me.
It would be lovely if we could do that in time for me to push the close button next March.
Yeah. I mean,
because I will no longer be an AD after March of 2027. So.
Okay. Well, I was going to say that the PQC draft, which I think is what we're talking about, will not be a lengthy process. I hope it should, I hope, be relatively straightforward to say, as of today, these are our options. Here they are. Let's go.
Can I ask you what the options are?
Yeah, absolutely. So right now the options are, of course, Mac, which we already have. We've got, for signature algorithms, we've got MLDSA and we've got SLHDSA. As of this meeting, nothing else has been standardized. So those are the choices.
Okay. Plus what you already had, which is the
LMS, except those all have to be deprecated, right? Because we're talking about firmware deployments, and those are no longer viable. Right? That's the fun bit, right? They're all going away.
Hold on. So you're well, it's not going away per se, right? But
no, they are.
You're gonna
right. Like, let's be clear: the regulatory environment is changing such that you are going to be required in many jurisdictions to deploy PQC algorithms for firmware update. In fact, the deadline for that, I believe, is 2030 in most jurisdictions.
But LMS and HMSS count.
Yes, correct. So
you wouldn't deprecate them.
No. That's a whole big topic, and if you're complying with CNSA 2.0, they're undeployable. So that's so it's a bit awkward.
So there is a draft out of PQIP. I don't know if you've seen it, where they're actually it's not, because it's PQIP, it's not standards, it's informational, but it's about hash-based signatures and deploying a hash-based signature. It's not they go through all of the options and list how bad they all are, which is sort of confusing to most people who read it.
No,
But
that makes perfect sense to me.
right? That's what I said. I'm like, thank you for this. We need this draft. I said, but everybody else looks at it and says, but you've just described why nobody should do this. I said, well, they've pointed out all of the problems with hash-based signatures and things like backup.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that just cleared the ISG last week as well. I'm holding a discuss on that, by the way.
Oh, cool. So when I
yeah.
write the PQC draft for suit, then I should reference that.
Well, that's just hash-based signatures, right? So that's just LMS and HMSS. It's not /DSA.
Yeah.
Right. So it's stateful based hash-based signatures. So you don't have to, because you've already done that in the current MTI draft, right?
Yeah, understood. What I was going to say more was that I would probably change how it's written so that it recommends against using hash-based signatures, recommends against using XMSS and HSS LMS. Not saying don't use it, but you probably shouldn't unless you really know why you should.
Well, so then you can point to this draft to say what will be by then in RFC. You can point to that to say this is why you might want to think very carefully about doing this. But you will give them two options, which is MLDSA and /DSA. So it's not like you're just giving them one option.
Yeah,
there will
exactly.
be at least two options. Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
Cool.
I mean, there's no reason to go for Falcon, right?
Not currently. Falcon's actually it's really well placed for firmware signing, because all of the problems with it go away when you're looking at verify only. The more interesting question is whether you are signing reports as well, because the moment that you're signing reports with a Falcon key, suddenly you have to care about data independent timing again, and that whole use of a floating point becomes a problem again.
Okay. All right. That sounds like a plan. If you stick with MLDSA /DSA and then give guidance on the hash-based stuff, the stateful hash-based stuff, I think that's a fair plan. And then you have to think about how that meshes with MTI and whether you're going to BIS MTI or whether you're going to update MTI. I think you're updating MTI.
I'm happy to BIS, update, or deprecate.
So if you BIS it, it means you've got to do all of it again.
Yeah.
If you update it, you just do the pieces you want.
Yeah. The problem is the deprecation of algorithms in it, and I'm not entirely sure how to do that. But I'll post something on the list, and someone I'm sure will raise a hand and help me out with that.
After you finish the update stuff, after we get that update stuff happily into the RFC editor queue, then we start working on this. I mean, you can work on it on your own, but I need the update stuff done.
Absolutely.
And I'm tired of Roman's looking at me. I got a manifest draft in my queue for like 2 years. It's time to get this finished.
All right, let's finish it off.
Perfect. Yay.
Brendan, I saw your email about 1 or 2 hours ago replying to Iana comment. I didn't have a chance to...
All I said was thank you. So you don't worry, you don't need to look at that.
Okay.
And that was for the report draft.
Yeah, that's right.
So they had asked a question, he answered the question, they said good.
Yep. So nothing to see here.
Okay, and then the main remaining is going to be a suit update.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah.
And I think we just finished talking about that, and you've already covered my any other business. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I think we could close the suit interim now.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.